Okay, so this is awkward for me to do because my partner rep has sent me like 8 messages that I haven't replied to over the past several months. But this is what it means to be a good person, okay? Let me just find, there it is right there. Hey, sorry I haven't replied to these, sweat, smile. No, you might not be in office right now, but I wanted to drop a line just to say one of my trusted mods got banned for typing "I would kill them" as a joke. It wasn't a death threat, but I can see how the moderation settings might interpret it as one. And I was wondering if I could possibly put in the good word for them to get unbanned. Sweat, smile. Their name is, and they submitted an appeal already. Sorry for the holiday message. There you go. That's the first minute and a half of the YouTube video. Send tweet. Sincerely, what a message. That's how I write messages to like my strangers. My strangers? That's how I write messages to strangers. Or at least people that I'm only like an acquaintance with. When I'm a friend with someone, here's what I said to the Unity Discord this morning. I said, trade offer. You receive a Jackbox lobby at roughly noon Pacific. I receive your company. That's how I talk to people I have rapport with. Hey, CD Viking, good rides. And thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. What's Sweat Smile? Sweat Smile is an emoji of a face sweating but also smiling. Where it's like, I'm stressed but like I'm in a good mood, you know? Or it's like, I'm embarrassed that I have to say this to you, but I really need a favor. Sweat Smile is actually the emoji that sold me on emojis having utility. Before that, I was just like, I don't need an emoji to tell people I'm happy. Like, I'll just write a message that carries that tone. But Sweat Smile is like, it's hard to convey that in words in like an elegant way. An elegant walk. What's the hungover emoji? I like the hungover emoji. My hangover days were pre-emoji days. I'm just waiting for it. Triumph is my favorite. I always have a hard time finding Triumph. Because Triumph is like, it's a dude shooting air out of his nose. So I always type like, man with air coming from nose. Sweat Smile's great though. Oh, Hangover is like the dude with the W mouth. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I saw the ugly. I saw emojis were invented in 1999, okay? We're proud of you that you know the date of the invention of emojis and definitely did not just Google when were emojis invented 15 seconds ago. We're all very impressed, okay? Here's that attention you ordered. Sorry. Sweat Smile. Sorry for all that fucked up stuff I said. Sweat Smile. I was under a lot of stress. One of my mods got banned. Sweat Smile. Hey, and Dill Will Hill, thank you for the gifted subscriptions as well. And great rides on the Peloton. Great rides. I'm trying to think of the other emojis I use all the time. I'm not embarrassed to say I use okay hand all the time. Here's my perception on okay hand. I used to use it a lot. I used that and thumbs up. And then people started to say that it was like a dog whistle for being a racist. So I stopped using it for like, I don't know, 5 years. And then people started to make think pieces that were like, according to Gen Z, the thumbs up is passive aggressive. So then I went back to okay hand, and I just don't use it racistly. I'm claiming it back. I use it in a non-racist way. And then if I did it in public and then someone came over to me and is like, we're going to do racism together, I would be like, you got the wrong guy. And I would leave. I would remove myself from the situation. If some dude open carrying in the subway was like, if shit goes down, you got my back, right? I would be like, absolutely not. I'm changing my order to go. We're not on the same team. Thumbs up is not passive aggressive, okay? I'm gonna battle Gen Z on this one. If they want to see it as passive aggressive, that's fine. But it's not passive aggressive. It's well, maybe not universal, but it's a very commonly understood nonverbal gesture to indicate one's contentment with the situation. Like, do you think Siskel and Ebert were negging movies when they gave them 2 thumbs up? No, bro. They were saying, go see Billy Madison in theaters this Friday. I'm willing to change myself to meet Gen Z standards on some issues. I've certainly changed the way I speak. I guess any port in a storm. For the worse, by the way. But the thumbs up, I'm not giving an inch, because then they're going to make me run a mile on that one. I up my thumb at thee. To Gen Z, a thumb up is basically like if someone replies to your text with K. Okay, that is really bad. As a millennial, K is basically like they sent me a thumbs down. So I don't know how that can be the same as a thumbs up. Like if someone asks me a question and then I give them an answer and they say K, that means they didn't like the answer, but they're accepting it. They're being like polite about it. What about KK? That's millennial, like ICQ for like nice K. That's like, I want to say okay, but not passive aggressively, so I say KK. I lived through this. I went through the trenches with this. It's like if someone messages you, hey, H-E-Y, in 2003, you're about to have a serious conversation. If someone messages you, hey, with like 3 Ys, they got a crush on you. And don't even get me started on 4 or more Ys. Like, I don't even know what happened. I should be so lucky to have that happen to me at some point in my life. Yeah, with like the lips emoticon. Like a hey, and then the bright red lips at the end of it. I'm telling you, thumbs up. Thumbs up is not passive aggressive. I understand the need to change like language over time, or the manner of speaking over time. Because there's things that like boomers do in text messages that are very annoying. You don't need me to tell you what it is. I'm going to do it anyway because we've got a lot of time to fill. Hey, can I talk to you? Without adding context of what it's about. And without the conversation being like right away. Instead, they're like, can I talk to you? And you're like, oh my God, sure. And then they're like, okay, I'll call you at 5. And you're like, what are you doing? You trying to like ruin my whole day? Then I call my mom back right away. And she's like, oh, it's not important. I just wanted to know like whether you want stuffing or dressing at Thanksgiving. And I was like, lady, you're trying to ruin my whole life? That's not a we need to talk type message. Plus, they're the same thing. Let's not get into that, though. The other one is adding ellipses at the end of messages, but everybody in chat called that one as soon as I started talking about it. Like if somebody sends, "How are you?" ... The only time I would ever send that message is if I was going to follow it up with a message that's like, "Someone died." Or like, "We need to talk ... And then you pick up the phone and call them and you're like, "What's up?" And they're like, "What should I get your 3-year-old for Christmas?" And you're like, "I don't know, fucking Lego, bro. Get her some Duplo." I'll be honest, she's gonna unwrap it, she's gonna play with it for like 5 minutes, and it's gonna go in the toy box, where it'll either become her favorite toy of all time and become the only thing she plays with, or like, you may never see it again. It's not that big of a deal. I'm willing to get a little freaky with it here. I'm willing to get super freaky with it. I'm Rick James. Remember that? Anyway. Enough of that. Those are the two big ones. But I don't think a thumbs up is anything on that level. Well, I don't know. If you're 22, if you got a message from your boss that said like, "Good job, thumbs up," be honest, okay? And only answer if you're part of the demographic. Let's not cloud the data here. If you're like, let's say you're 18 to 25. I don't know the exact cutoff dates, but let's just roll with that. If your boss said, "Good job, thumbs up," would you take that positively or negatively? Give me a +2 for positively and a -2 for negatively. That's good? Okay, I'm starting to get it. What if you texted your boss, "Hey boss, I closed up for the night," and then they replied with a thumbs up? How would you take that? That's still good. Okay, well, when is it bad? I don't get when it's bad then. Because I don't feel comfortable, and maybe this is my millennialness talking. I know that, what do Zoomers use as like an acknowledgement? They use green heart, right? I don't really feel comfortable replying to like people I'm not necessarily close with like green heart. Like, to me, it feels like it's a little too forward. What's he on about? I get heart reacted by Zoomer colleagues from time to time. Not just Chiblee. Like, the only person I heart emote is my wife. And maybe that makes me a traditionalist, I don't know, but damn. It's also basically the only person I text. I also text my mom, and then like once every 6 months I text the daycare. Now my dad, most of our communication is done through mom. But like maybe once every 3 months I'll get in a text with my dad. I'll get in a text chain, and it's always about the bike. Like he texted me the frick back like a month ago, and he was like, "Hey, next ride will be my 500th ride on the Peloton." And I said, "Congrats, have you picked a class out yet?" And he said, "Yep, 30-minute Chris Stapleton ride." And I said, "Well, that sounds good, enjoy." And then the next day he texted me and he said, "Just finished the ride." And I said, "Congrats, that's a big badge." And then we talked for a little bit about his, he got new shoes for the Peloton. What's his wattage? He's got he doesn't have the official Peloton, he just uses the Peloton app. So I always ask him, I was like, "What are your stats like?" And he's like, "I literally don't know." He just pedals. He also, and I've said this before, but as more people, or at least, you know, I don't know if I say more people, but as people get more aware of like the Peloton classes, it just becomes funnier and funnier to me that like I ask him what he does on the classes, and he says like he listens to the instructor, but he doesn't follow any of the call outs. He just puts the resistance at like the same number every day and pedals at that at the same speed and the same difficulty for 30 minutes straight. And he's like, every time I get off the bike, I feel like I'm gonna die. And I'm like, that's because you're actually gonna die. Like, you would, like, yeah, honest, I'm not mad at you. Like, I'm actually impressed that seems way harder than actually just following the classes. And then, like, sometimes you slow down and use, like, less of your cardiovascular system and more musculature to get the same sort of output. Like, you could mix up your routine a little bit, so you're doing the same thing, but you're hitting different muscle groups and stuff, so you're not so exhausted. But he's like, no, I like it. I'm like, all right. I'm not gonna mess with you then. Where in the process is the app helping? I think he just likes someone to pick out the music for him. I mean, that's really the only thing. Like, the dude is the only person on earth who's riding the Peloton for the music. But I honestly, I mean, A, I respect it, and B, I feel like hearing that from him taught me more about myself, too. It's like whenever I stream anything, people are like, why don't you do it this way? It would be like 10% more efficient. And I'm like, how about you fuck yourself? I like it this way. Shut your mouth. It's my way or the highway. My dad doesn't talk like that, but I do sometimes. Yes, my dad is Fred Durst. The truth come out. Just entering a floor grants a bone heart. That seems pretty important. That doesn't. Okay. That's where a thumbs up would be passive aggressive. So if someone was like, hey, I set a new PB on the Peloton today, and you sent a thumbs up, that would be passive aggressive. Here's the thing, if that's the case, that's not a Gen Z thing at all, which is maybe the Gen Zs are not the ones writing these articles, so don't take it like I'm mad at you. That's passive aggressive regardless of your age. Like if I was trying to like brag about an accomplishment and somebody hit me with just a thumbs up emoji, I would be like, okay, I get it, you're not interested, but like part of life is having to pretend that you are. I don't want to do it either. That's what it is though. Old people don't understand emojis as well. I think that's true. I mean, nor should they. I mean, they were only invented in 1999, as you know. My mom sends me like the bitmojis sometimes. I don't really want it, but like the ones like it's an emoji, but it's been handcrafted to kind of like look like my mom. And it really does look like my mom, which is why it's like more unsettling. Like, I don't know what it is that is like way more unsettling to get a cartoon image of your mom giving a thumbs up instead of just the default thumbs up. Like, Mom, I know who's sending the thumbs up. It has your name like at the top of the text conversation. It's like, imagine if you took it one step further and you sent like a picture of yourself doing the emote instead of the emoji. You would be like, what are you doing? This is crazy. But for some reason, we accept Bitmoji. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not mad at my mom for it. It's just, you know, a generational sort of difference. More power to her. I mean, like, if anything, I'm kind of impressed. I don't even know where, like, I would make a Bitmoji, but she's got that on lock. So she's one step ahead of me. Can you imagine if Twitch was like that? Dude, yeah, you tell like a really bad joke and then you just see like a bunch of people's selfies with the I can't face. Oh man, the internet was like, it's only 2% different from what the internet is actually like, but it would change things dramatically. Nuts on the table, boys. First time chatter, does this streamer ever talk about the game? You must be new here. Most astute Twitch streamer, you must be new here. Don't really want it, honestly. It's rare to witness a type A chatter being born. Lightning crashes, a moderator dies. The confusion levels heads and goes down. The new chatter down the hall. Oh, my streamers ranting once again. You know what I'm saying? Live lightning crashes. Like a rumble, streamer chasing a trend. Just for I don't really know what he says in the song. But I do know that lightning crashes and the new mother cries. The confusion levels heads. The confusion is a do be leveling heads. See the glory of the high. Something like that. He does say fetus in that song, doesn't he? Lightning crashes lyrics. Fetus. Oh yeah, the fetus opens her eyes. The confusion sets in and gives birth to the fetus down the hall. Oh, my fetus coming, setting in again like confusion. Thunder leveling heads. Put the fetus at the center of the setting in. I know what you're saying. That's a classic from the 90s. That's a 90s classic, without a doubt. Pale blue colored eyes. Confusion sets in. They're the angel down the hall. That was more like Elvis, but you get the idea. What if Elvis sang Lightning Crashes? Oh, my feet. It sounds exactly the same. Coming back again. Sounds literally exactly the same. Didn't change the voice at all. What'd you smoke today? Nothing? I'm just entertaining. Is it true that Ronald Reagan's last words were, "I'm from Ohio, bitch"? Or is that like a Call of Duty Cold War thing? Is both real and from Call of Duty? Did you see the, there was like a tweet that was like, here's the most searched video games on pornographic websites. And then it compared them to like the trend from a year ago. That was blowing my mind. So like, I don't know, number one was like Overwatch, and then like all the Genshin Impact games were in there as well. But it was the thing that I found most degenerate, and there's like a lot to choose from, was Call of Duty was like numbered 13 or something like that. Who the fuck is Google, or not Googling, but searching Call of Duty not safe for work on a pornographic website? Like, that's insanity. Like, I just, it never struck me at all that you would be playing those games and be like, you know what, I'm horny. Minecraft was in second place. That makes more sense to me, as crazy as it sounds. And I think, we can get to the distillation of my thought here. I know what you're going to say is that's counterintuitive because Call of Duty is like semi-realistic and Minecraft is an abstraction. But having spent a lot of time on the internet, and like you get tweeted insane things, you click on their profile, In a weird way, so there's like normie preferences. Those are normal. Let's establish our baseline. The second most normal thing is like an insane fetish, like Bowser fucking Yoshi, enormous penis on Sonic the Hedgehog. Like that, just by distribution in the population, that's like the second most normal, is like very weird. Then the weird thing is just slightly weirder than normal. Like Googling like Call of Duty big tits is so much weirder than like Bowsette goon material. And just using the dictionary definition of the word weird as like, you know, not represented in a majority of the population. Like a lot of you, and I don't mean this in a judgmental way, a lot of you have weird preferences. Preferences that, you know, you wouldn't have told anybody about in 2006. But now, in 2023, is like the whole identity on social media. And I love that for you. I got no problem with it. Just stop tweeting me, hey, did you know Cine 2 Nerdle came out with a battle mode? Yeah, I've been playing it for like a week straight. So in a way, your weirdness is actually not that weird because there's a lot of weirdos. The real weird stuff is the people who are like, I'm mostly normal, but then I go home and Google Call of Duty big tits, which is just like an insane phrase to ever associate with your identity on any search engine ever. It's like, in a weird way, I think the biggest weirdos of all, and this is gonna cause an argument in chat and I'm so ready for it. There's like people that jerk off to pornography. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That's normal. Then there's people who jerk off to like clothed photos of celebrities. That's fucking weird, bro. Like if you jerk off to porn, that's normal. If you jerk off to cartoons, I never thought I would say this. You got an ally on your team. That's normal. But jerking off to like a red carpet photo of a Hollywood actress that's at the premiere of her movie is like, that's assault. That's fucking strange to me. Especially because it's the gentleman boners thing again, so I apologize for the rehash. But I always feel like those people have like an air of like they're jerking off with like their pinkies up. Unlike you, I jerk off to softcore pornography. It's like people who are like, I like stand-up comedians who don't swear because I have taste. They're like, porn is gross. Instead, I jerk off to a photo of a lady who's fucking at work right now, you sicko. Like, what are you doing? She's just doing her job. It's obscene. This shit is disgusting. So are porn stars? Yeah, but that's their job, you know? Like when you go to McDonald's and you're like, I'll take a hamburger, they're like, we're McDonald's. That makes sense. When you walk into the fucking, you know, Walmart and you're like, make me a hamburger, you're like, bro, I'm stocking shelves right now. Can you not? You're weirding me out. What about whacking it to clothed photos of porn stars? I don't know. That's like... I think you should respect their craft and look at a photo of them with their clothes off. Why? I don't know why it seems like more violating to pleasure yourself to a picture of a pornographic actor or actress with their clothes on than with their clothes off. It's just, I don't know, there's something weird about it to me. I can't articulate it as well as I would like, but... You can keep doing it. I just want you to acknowledge that you're not, it's not a gentleman boner. It's a fucking, it's a weird peeping Tom boner. Like, you're not classy for jerking off to photos of, like, non-porn actresses who are just living their lives. Like, that's actually way creepier than Googling Call of Duty big tits. No. This wasn't a normal boner. This was a gentleman's boner. Sorry, it's different. Call of Duty Big Naturals is funny. There's a lot to unpack there. Like, guy who wants AI-generated art, but only of natural breasts. They're like, no. Sorry. ChatGPT, can you make those a little smaller? I don't like fake breasts. Yeah, that's better. I want artificial big naturals. That's a great phrase. What the hell is this thing, man? Are they natural then? I told you gotta work on your riffing. You're restating the premise of the bit to me after I've twisted the bit. We covered this earlier in the stream, okay? I did see, thank you for reminding me. I did see Elon Musk tweet, has anyone ever tried speed running? And then like all of the replies to the tweet are they're even more insane than the original tweet. Which is crazy. The tweets are like, me and my brother used to do this when we played Mario. What do you mean you and your brother used to do this when you played Mario? Like, what are you talking about? You used to speed running with your brother when you played Mario? Like, what are we... Are we starting from the same place on this one? I just tuned in. What is going on? Okay, so this is... it's not your fault. It's a pet peeve of mine. I don't know how it happened, but stream viewers have become somehow the most easy to impress and confuse audiences of all time. Like, after we did the McDonald's stream last week, there was a message in the Discord that was like, oh my god, is this real or is this a dream? And I think it was just like my stream with the McDonald's banner on top of it. And I replied, insulting myself, by the way, I might add, but also to get a hit in on them. I replied, average stream viewer when they see the most boring content of all time. Oh my god, is this real? It's just, you don't have to concern yourself with it too much. It's real. You're not asleep right now, but it's also not that, it's not that noteworthy. It was insane. It was not insane at all. Have you ever seen Avengers Infinity War? Big purple dude gets a golden glove, fills it with 6 gems, snaps, and half of the world, half of the life in the universe disappears. I was just playing Fortnite with a little Big Mac in the corner. It's very real. It's a little too much reading for me. Perhaps a little bit less sodium chloride next time. It was unexpected. I know! Everyone said that Marvel movies don't kill the heroes, and then they would never get rid of Spider-Man. Oh, dude just got introduced like last year. Then he goes, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. I didn't see it coming either. I was sobbing. I wasn't sobbing, but I will. I got chills in Endgame. When Mjolnir flies across the screen, but wouldn't you know it, it goes to Captain America's hand. I clapped. I did not get out of my seat. I may have clapped. I can't remember. There was too much adrenaline pulsing through my veins. No shot, you clapped? Bro, it was like 11 p.m. opening night. They would have killed me if I didn't clap. They would have beaten me to death with a shovel. Plus, I wanted to. I had a huge IC, so I had to piss so bad for that final battle. I tactically dehydrated myself for 8 days before going in and wore noise-canceling headphones everywhere I went so no 12-year-old Fortnite kids could spoil it for me. I think that's fair. Someone said, I unironically think it's a cool and embarrassing moment to clap to. I mean, we were there for the movies, man. If you're gonna go see Endgame on opening night, you're not gonna act like too cool for school. You're gonna be like, yeah, no, I refreshed to make sure that I got these tickets like right away. We're in the perfect spot. We got the perfect viewing angle. Everything's set up. Then you're like, it's a little bit too bombastic for me. Like, they were event movies. Now, if you're clapping during the Marvels, which I've not seen, that might not be me, but... Okay. Slash marker, repentance.